Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best ultrawide monitors.
Starting at number 5.
Samsung Odyssey Neo. Excessive? Ludicrous? Absurd? These words mean nothing to the Samsung Odyssey Neo G9 G95 NC Dual UHD. That's why it's our pick as the best 57-inch ultrawide monitor for gaming. It was a bit of a shoe-in for the accolade, however, as it may well be the only 57-inch ultrawide monitor for gaming in existence today. That's not actually why the Neo G9 G95 NC has a place in this guide, however. We made way for this megalithic monitor because it truly gives new meaning to the word ultrawide. We thought it may be deserving of another title. Silly wide, perhaps, but I don't think it'll catch on. Point is, it's huge, and it's not your usual resolution. Breaking the mold for ultra-wide gaming monitors, the Neo G9 G95 NC comes with a resolution of 7680 by 2160. If you divide that first number by 2, you'll end up with a single 4K panel, meaning, yes, this is 2 4K panels worth of pixels wrapped up into one. The panel itself is a VA, not this fancy OLED tech, though the best 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for gaming has you covered there. Actually, what you get here is an equally fresh backlight technology, Quantum Mini LED. So it's not entirely at a loss for brightness and beauty, display HDR 1000. You can expect a decent 1 millisecond response time and decent contrast levels nonetheless, even if they come up short versus OLED in some ways. You don't have to worry about burn-in here, at least.
Coming at number 4.
Samsung Odyssey OLED G9. The best 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for gaming is the Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 G93 SC. That's the slightly cheaper version of the G95 SC, which comes with some extra smart TV functionality that doesn't really matter much to us PC gamers. The core remains the same, an ultra-wide OLED to blow your socks off. With 49 inches of QD-OLED panel, the OLED G9 comes with a widened horizontal resolution than many other ultra-wide gaming monitors at 5120 by 1440. That affords you ample room to explore your desktop or many Chrome tabs, or extremely wide gaming experiences that take up your entire eye line. This really is the most immersive ultra-wide we've come into contact with. The combination of the incredible contrast and colors of an OLED screen combined with the 49-inch size is an enviable gaming experience in the games that support it. That's one thing to note, not every game will support such a horizontal resolution. The games that do, however, make for an amazing viewing experience on the OLED G9. The OLED G9 is rated to 240 Hz, which puts it right up there with the fastest ultra-wide panel we recommend, the Asus ROG Swift OLED PG34 WCDM. It's also importantly quicker than the Asus ROG Swift OLED PG49 WCD that bears the same panel. And, while usually the OLED G9 costs more for it, we've seen it discounted to way less than its opposite number at Asus.
At number 3.
Asus ROG Swift. The best 240 Hz ultra-wide monitor for gaming is the Asus ROG Swift OLED PG34 WCDM. This new arrival is one of just a few second-generation OLED gaming monitors currently on the market, and it's fitted with one of LG's extremely fast OLED MLA Gen 2 panels. That LG panel scores you a 240 Hz refresh rate with a 0.03 milliseconds response time. Yes, 0.03 milliseconds. To put it plainly, this panel is rapid in every sense. A high-end graphics card is required to reach the advertised 240 Hz refresh rate, and even the best graphics cards around might struggle in some games. Though the fact this is an ultra-wide monitor with a standard 3440 by 1440 resolution helps. That's a lot fewer pixels than 4K in total. Picture quality hasn't been sacrificed to deliver a stonking speed, however. If you've seen an LG OLED TV, you know that LG makes a mean screen. The Swift OLED PG34 WCDM is no different. The second-generation OLED panel here makes a real difference to how images are displayed across it. It's vibrant and has a bit more fundamental zing than other LG OLEDs we've tested previously.
Number 2 of my list.
ASRock Phantom PG34WQ15 R2B. The best budget ultrawide is from a relatively new face on the gaming monitor scene. It's the ASRock Phantom PG34WQ15 R2B. Despite not being around in the market for long, ASRock has decided to adopt some of the most confusing naming schemes for its monitors yet, but don't let that detract from this budget hero. Don't lower your expectations too much, because the ASRock Phantom PG34WQ15 R2B delivers a specs sheet not too dissimilar to the Alienware 34 QD-OLED above in a few ways: the 3440 by 1440 resolution and 165 Hz refresh rate. The VA panel on the PG34WQ15 R2B is quite bright, considering its more affordable price tag, coming in with a 550 nits rating. That's enough to net it display HDR 400 certification and a half-decent HDR experience. The claimed coverage of 91% DCI-P3 is also pretty darn good. Rounding out the rest of the spec, there's FreeSync Premium support for all your variable refresh rate needs. No good monitor in 2024 should be without, and the stand is surprisingly excellent. Usually the stand is a letdown on more affordable monitors, but this one offers all the movement you could ask for and doesn't demand much screen space. All in, the PG34WQ15 R2B really impressed us during testing and was a pleasure to play games with, and it's still very much in use in the PC gamer office, too. Considering it starts out relatively cheap for this sort of spec and then is frequently discounted to sit as one of the cheapest ultra-wide monitors for gaming around, we can't recommend it enough.
And number 1.
Alienware 34 QD-OLED. Not only is the Alienware 34 QD-OLED the best ultra-wide monitor for gaming, it's quite simply the best gaming monitor today. With a 3440 by 1440 resolution, it's wide enough to be engrossing while gaming, but it also comes with the hot new thing in gaming monitors, an OLED panel. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the Alienware 34 QD-OLED. It's an ultra-wide OLED with a 0.1 milliseconds response time, 165 Hz refresh rate, 3440 by 1440 resolution, 1000 nits peak luminance, and features AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. All that for a reasonable and frequently discounted price. There are two different models of Alienware 34 QD-OLED, the AW3423DW and AW3423DWF. We prefer the latter. It skips G-Sync support, though it still works great with NVIDIA GPUs, and loses 10 Hz from the refresh rate, not a biggie, but in exchange it is often going for less. Though the best bit is it ditches the matte finish for a glossy one. It might seem like a small detail, but the glossy finish is really what makes this OLED shine. The glossy coat works a treat for bringing out the best of the OLED panel's deep black levels and wildly huge contrast ratio. It does wonders for the HDR gaming experience.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.